Welcome to What's the Scenario with PLRB, where we explore claims and coverage scenarios relevant to insurance professionals. I'm Brendan McLaughlin, Education Counsel at PLRB, and today I'll be joined by Mike Brode, VP of Meetings Education at PLRB, as well as Katie Peterson and Suzanne Eller. Katie was the recipient of the 2026 PLRB Outstanding Claims Professional Award. So, what's the scenario? A cat jumps on the stove to get leftovers, accidentally turns a burner, and starts a kitchen fire. The homeowner has heard of an exclusion that applies to damage caused by animals owned or kept by an insured, and is concerned that the fire will not be covered. Exactly how mad should the homeowner be with their cat, and how long can they stay mad at that face? First, we'll head into the deck page.
All right.
And I thought here we say people, places, or things. We're gonna have to go with pets as people. And talk pets. I don't have a cat right now. I have 2 dogs who get up to about as much trouble as my cats used to. But where are you all at on your anybody with cats?
I have a full farm at my house.
Oh, wow.
I have 2 dogs, 3 cats, and 8 chickens. So,
Wow.
yeah, don't tell the insurance company. They might cancel me. No, just kidding.
And I have 2 dogs, so they keep me busy. So definitely have heard the interesting stories with people and animals. So.
Yeah, no doubt. Like everybody else, yeah, I got 2 dogs. So they happen to be half brothers. So little Bichons who keep me company, even as we're here now. They're my best coworkers ever until the Amazon person comes. Then they go crazy.
Yeah.
But that's good. But yeah, cats are always interesting. And Katie, do you do your own eggs with your chickens? Or is
I do. I get lots of different colored eggs. I've got some greens, almost like a purplish pink color, and dark brown and a little light brown. So they're fun.
Awesome. I don't think I've
Yeah.
ever seen the green variety. That would be exciting.
Yeah, I'll have to send you a picture.
Talk about that, but yeah, green eggs and ham or something. But
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah. When you break it open, it's the same, but the color, that's why.
All right, that's really cool. All right, let's head into our scenario. All right, so we're talking about pets we're talking about cats. Finally, we don't mean catastrophe. We actually mean cats. What's been your experience when you're talking about a claim that might involve a pet, and what are the insured's expectations when you're dealing with that?
Well, just when you think of when someone puts a claim in for pet, maybe even adjusters are like, oh, animal exclusion not covered, or people don't want to tell on their own family members either. They think, oh, they might not cover it. So, but I've had a few claims, some fire where the dog has jumped on the stove and started the fire. But initially the homeowner's like, I just came home and the fire department was here. And the whole kitchen's gone. And it started in the kitchen because the uppers, it's venting out the roof. I mean, major fire damage. And they're like, we don't know. And we'll bring in the origin and cause investigator. And I'm like, was your animal here? The knobs were turned. But there was no malfunction. We'll bring in the stove. Was it the stove that caused it? They can't find anything. So it's interesting. They're sneaky, up there looking for food on the stove, and boom.
So maybe you see the telltale paw print up on the stove, and that, now we've got the
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the food's gone. That plate's not there anymore. That's funny.
Do you think people, Katie and Suzanne, is it that, I know, again, I'm a casualty guy, so bear with me, but I think there's an exclusion in the policy for kind of like damages done by animals? So is that what they're worried about? That it was like the animal is the peril versus fire? Is that what the concern might be?
Yeah. So I mean that's the key to it is that if the animal causes damage to the house itself, it's not covered. But the fire ultimately is the peril, and it doesn't matter in that sense, that it wasn't an intentional, it wasn't the animal doing it. So the animal didn't cause the fire. I mean, theoretically, if you really want to nail down to it, did cause it, but that's not and that's where people, again, the insurance policy you always want to look at is that, it's not, you're not excluding, you're not saying, no, there's no coverage. It is definitely covered. So,
And I love these policies because it takes you back to, or these claims, it takes you back to looking at the policy. What did that exclusion say? Because you're not coming across animal exclusions too often. So, you have to look at it. And I think, what's the intent? When you have an animal causing damage, what did he do? Scratch the baseboards up, wear and tear. But fire, that's why I love fires. There's not too much coverage opinions, and that he caused the fire and that's what's covered. So it's just really, getting down to the damage. And
makes sense. But here I'm always excited about, as Brendan knows, I'm always trying to find a scenario that involves malicious mischief, because that's one of my favorite exclusions ever. So unless we could support that the cat or the dog had some kind of evil intent when they went to start this fire, like didn't get a treat or my new toy
wasn't being fed on time or something.
Exactly. So it's time to pizza. Yes. So then maybe we could use malicious mischief if we could support somehow that dog or cat really had like human intentions and somehow expected this thing to happen. Maybe there's a scenario there. I don't know.
But the key is that we're always looking for coverage. I mean, that's always as an adjuster. And I think that's something people always forget is that as an adjuster, we are always looking for coverage.
Right.
It's a lot easier to pay a claim than not pay a claim. So it's never, trying to find that. It's like, but the dog or the cat starting the fire, there's never any questions.
All right.
I mean, we still do our research, obviously we still have to do our due diligence and check everything, but it's always done.
Just one time I want to be able to use malicious mischief. One time.
Well, hopefully not.
There was a claim with a raccoon, I think that Kelly had, and those raccoons can be mischievous for us.
And what if the cat kept eye contact with you and they batted like a candle off the table? They like to make eye contact when they bat the candle off. Yeah,
you wax it.
That would be pretty malicious. But is the idea that this exclusion is often it's kind of almost with other wear and tear exclusions, to where almost the theory is that the intent was that it's excluding a cost, like, oh, your pet's doing damage to your home over the course of time. That's not really what the insurance is for, risks and fortuity. And something like this, they accidentally step on a burner and there's a fire. That feels a lot like more than fortuity or a risk. It feels like an expense or a cost. Is that sort of the theory going on here?
Yeah, I think so. And I think looking at the intent of the exclusion, I mean, if your cat does get burned, I don't think that's going to be covered. But the intent is, you look at it, wear and tear. What kind of damage does your normal pet do? It's peeing on the carpet, chewing up baseboards, ripping up your lawn. That's something that you should be taking care of. And that's not fortuitous, but the sudden accidental jumping on the stove, that's covered. So, and that's sudden accidental damages. So I think that's you just really got to look at the intent behind the policy.
And I'll throw out there, I know that we have an article on this, and our coverage attorneys have, not a ton of case law on this particular topic, as you can maybe imagine. But there's at least a couple examples out there where some courts refused to accept the argument that the animal exclusion was to be read narrowly, only applying to normal wear and tear. Both of those actually involved a large number of pets. And you're saying you have a farm. We're talking like 95 cats.
Yeah.
95 cats, and this was like a tenant situation. So it's like, this is an extreme amount of damage here, and maybe outside. So those are, I think, distinguishable from the situation we're talking about. But I'll put them in the show notes. I'll put that whole article in the show notes for anybody who's curious about diving into dwelling into this particular exclusion and learning more.
Fun. Something I can do this weekend. All right. Thank you, Brenda.
Yeah.
There you go.
Some fun reading.
All right. Well, I can hop into the 3 key takeaways.
Sounds good.
For our takeaways, I'd like to share that we do have an exclusion. Here's a sample language. We do not insure for loss caused by animals owned or kept by an insured. And for the first point, if a homeowner sees that exclusion, it really can sound like there's absolutely no chance of coverage. Second key takeaway is that in a lot of cases, in a situation like this, it might be considered to, if you have a pet that actually was the proximate cause of something like a fire, this exclusion might be found not to apply. This might be read more narrowly as, an exclusion that applies to wear and tear and that kind of thing. And I think the third key takeaway is to just maintain that communication with the insured. And if you have built that rapport, then you can kind of get over some of the misconceptions they might have coming into it. We also mentioned that, as with many things, case law can go either way in it. So we'll include a couple cases in the show notes. And there you'll also find a recap of the key points from this episode and links to our social media. Don't forget to subscribe and rate us. And please give us a call at 630-509-8704 and leave a voicemail to share your adjuster story. We'll see you next time. The views and opinions expressed in this resource are those of the individual speaker and not necessarily those of the Property and Liability Resource Bureau, its membership, or any organization with which the presenter is employed or affiliated. The information, ideas, and opinions are presented as information only and not as legal advice or offers of representation. Individual policy language and state laws vary, and listeners should rely on guidance from their companies and counsel as appropriate.